Welcome back everyone for another episode of Pokemon News of the Week. Tonight's headlines. PSA, more like PS no way. The Yokohama World Championship is just around the corner. There has been a lot of announcements. And Pokemon shoes. All that and more in Pokemon News of the Week. Everyone, welcome back for another episode of Pokemon News of the Week. My name is Bob and I will be your anchor tonight. Tonight there is a lot of stuff to talk about, and first off we're going to talk about the Pokemon Championship that is coming in Yokohama in August. Basically, this is a tournament that's going to be happening in August 11th to 13th, which is going to have a load of things related to Pokemon. It's going to be things like Pokemon Go, Pokemon Unite, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and of course the Pokemon trading card game. This has been held in America for the past decade and a bit, and last year it was held in London for the first time outside of the States and Canada. This year, it is finally coming home to Japan, and it's going to be held in Yokohama. Yokohama's a big city that's about, I want to say 20 miles from Tokyo. It's pretty easy to get. It's about a 30-minute train journey. Now, they did have some spectator passes available for purchase, but unfortunately they are now all gone. So it's going to be pretty tough, I think, for anyone to get any passes now to actually enter the event. However, they do plan on doing live streams of this event. They have done for the past couple years. So basically, you'll be able to see these live when they announce some live stream. Once we know information, we will share it with you. But in addition to this, on the day, they are also going to have a couple of parades, and there's going to be lots of various events around the area at the time. So there is lots of great stuff coming. But in addition to the event, there is also a lot of goods that are going up on sale. And as you can see from this list, this is the full list here. I will try and put some links somewhere in the chat so you can actually see what is coming. There's t-shirts, there's clothes, there's all kinds of stuff coming. But on this channel, we focus a lot on Pokemon cards. So I'm going to focus a little bit more on this little section here in the red box. Basically, there's some cool stuff coming. So for example, there is the full deck. If you can't get it on lottery, you are able to buy it here on the day for 3,500 yen. There's also a lot of card sleeves, there's some deck boxes, there's also some coin cases and some V-Star like counters. There's a lot of cool stuff. The problem is, you guys might not be able to actually get into the shop. Which leads me quite nicely into the next topic, which is talking about the Pokemon World Store that is going to be opening temporarily in Yokohama from June 9th to June 13th. Basically, this is the place that's going to be selling a lot of the cool goods that you guys can buy yourself. The problem is entering this is going to be really, really hard. A lot of things right now in Japan are done through something called a Chusen. A Chusen is like a lottery system. You apply, if you win, you get the chance to buy something. And to enter this store, there is also a Chusen. Basically, this is going to be running, and let me just double check, from June 19th to June 3rd until 1:59 JST. Basically, I will put the website in the description below so you can actually check it out. If you are planning to go to this event, apply for a ticket. If you win the opportunity to go in, yourself plus 3 other people can go in together, so you can actually go in as a group of 4. So basically 4 people can then go in together to get lots of great, amazing goods specific to this event. And in addition to this, there is going to be a Pokemon drink and ice shop by Pokemon Sweets that's going to be open up at the event. There's a lot of cool specific Pokemon sweets and goodies that they're going to sell here. They haven't actually announced what they're planning to sell yet, but I can only imagine it's going to be unique and specifically set for this location. So please look forward to that. If you can apply, please apply. If you can go, definitely go. Now for today's big headline. In Japan, there was a PSA crash. That's right, there was finally some kind of crash related to Pokemon cards. Basically, what had happened is a lot of stores such as Dragon Star and Yellow Submarine and lots of kind of like smaller chain stores in Japan that buy Pokemon cards officially announced that they are going to stop buying PSA goods. And what happened was this led to a huge crash. Let's rewind a little bit. About 1 month ago, a lot of cards such as the Lillia's Full Power or the, for example, the Umbreon cards, the Moonbreon that lots of people still love, jumped in price. And you can see by some of the graphs I'm going to put on the screen that these numbers went up a lot very quickly. What people think was happening is that a lot of people were basically buying up all the stuff, getting them all graded, and just trying to sell them off to make a ton of profit. Because, of course, if you can get a Mint Gem 10, like a full 10 on your grading, it's going to be worth some money. So a lot more people were basically doing this. Problem is, the price grew so much that basically shops couldn't afford to buy them. And you have to understand that if any shop is paying about $10,000 for one card, they then have to sell it to somebody else to then buy that card from them. And not everyone is sitting around with $10,000 to then buy a card. So all of these shops just basically said, nope, we are stopping buying them. Led to the crash. And a lot of these prices dropped considerably. For example, the Umbreon card dropped by about $1,000, and the Erica card that was already pretty high at the time has dropped by about $1,500 to $2,000. This is an interesting thing that's happening. And I'm wondering, and I'm curious, is this the beginning of a bigger crash? Because we all know eventually this market is going to crash at some point. Like every market that ever has happened that has had its kind of like peak, there is going to be a drop at some point. When is it going to be? Is it going to be this year? Quite possibly. But on the other side of PSA news, even though all of these cards have dropped, that Lilie card jumped again. It is now worth Nisen Maeng. So that is 20 million yen. That translates, and I did the equation earlier. Right now, it's looking at 140,000 US dollars for this card graded 10. That is ridiculous. And in the previous video, in like one of the first videos that I did with this, I thought that 15 million yen was a lot of money. I cannot believe this is still going up in price. Why is it worth so much? I have a feeling that eventually this is going to burst as well, and something is going to make this crash ridiculously. But anyway, this was a really interesting observation this week. I cannot believe this is so expensive. Now, keeping with Pokemon card news, on July 7th, we have the release of 8 brand new starter decks coming out in Japan. They range from things like the Miraidon deck to the Greninja deck. There's basically just 8 cool decks coming out. And additionally, there are 2 secret decks coming out. These are going to be part of the Omakase deck. Omakase means like to leave it to someone or to leave it to them. Basically, there's going to be secretly 2 decks included. And until now, a lot of people thought that there were going to be like secret alternative art rare decks inside of here. A bit like Start Deck 100, which had the deck 101 on deck 000, which had just alternative cards inside of it, like the Mari card. But it's not. Basically, they announced what the 2 secret decks are, so they're not really a secret anymore. One of them is going to be a normal type Terrestrialized Greedent deck. So this Greedent, as you can see the card on the screen, it's got some pretty nifty attacks, but it's just a Terrestrialized Greedent. In addition to that, the second secret deck is a Dragon type Dragonite deck, which again looks damn cool. And the only way right now to get these is through the Omakase deck. So that means that if you're lucky with a 1 in 10 chance to get one of these decks, you can get one of these. However, please note that the Pokemon Company has announced that at a later date, they are going to release these decks separately. So if you can't get them now, please wait. Don't worry about FOMO. Please don't worry about missing out. Basically, you will have a chance to buy these decks at some point officially from the Pokemon Company. But in addition to these, there were a ton of cool goods. There is so much cool stuff. And I have done a ton of research for this video this week. So I'm going to be looking at my screen a little bit to kind of explain some of the content and the exact prices so that you guys don't miss out. Let me check my screen. So first off, we have a Ball and Energy Deck Shield. The price of this is 889 yen. Very specific, but that's exactly what it says on the website. Next up, we have a Pikachu large collection, kind of like lots of Pikachus here. The sleeves, again, are 889 yen. We also have a Decidueye card sleeve set that's coming out as well. Again, 889 yen. As well as what they call Gekoga, so Greninja in English. Again, 889 yen. Each one of these packets contains 60 sleeves, so you can basically build a full deck. On top of that, there are also a couple of deck cases. So there is also the Pokemon Ball and Energy deck case, 500 yen. There is also, again, the Pikachu one, 500 yen. And in addition to that, there is also the Juniper. It's interesting they're called Juniper. The Decidueye card deck kind of box, which is 500 yen also. In addition to that, we do also have a card file. So this card file is going to be 1,980 yen. So this is cool. I actually did get this on pre-order already, so this is going to be coming real soon. So very exciting. There is also a fantastic playmat. So this playmat is a rubber mat with all these Pikachus. There's a ton of Pikachus on here. It's kind of crazy. That is 2,970 yen. There is also a kind of long card box, so you can store basically loads of cards, which has the ball and energy, that's 660 yen. There is also the long Pikachu one, which is also 660 yen. And finally, there are 2 cases for you to keep dice and tokens and so on. These are 330 yen each, one of them being Greninja and one of them being Pikachu. Oh boy, there's a lot of goods coming out. There is so much stuff. But now you guys know exactly what the prices are. They all come out on July 7th, along with those 8 plus 2, so 10 decks. And then a few additional side bits of news. First off, I want to talk about the Symphony Orchestra done by NHK that is coming in August this year. Basically, NHK, they're a big TV production company that they make a lot of programs here in Japan. They are holding a big orchestra in Yokohama, which is going to be held around the same time as the WCS, so that's the World Championship Series, and specifically it's going to be held on August 10th. This orchestra tickets are going for about 3,000 yen, and right now the pre-order for Japan is from June 19th to July 2nd. But the problem is they haven't actually decided when the overseas sales are going to start. Right now on the website it just says not decided yet. So I don't know how you guys are going to order. What I've done is I've put the ticket website in the bottom, and I've also put a link to this somewhere so you can actually see it down in the description. Take a look, find out if you're in Yokohama for the World Tournament, check out the World Orchestra for the Pokemon kind of series. It's going to be awesome, and any orchestra is amazing. A video game orchestra is awesome, even more awesome than awesome. ANA, an airline in Japan, which is All Nippon Airlines, also announced that from August 31st, they're going to have an Eevee theme on their planes. So this is for a lot of the local planes that are flying around Japan. This is pretty cool, and they've done this before with Pikachu, but I'm kind of glad that they're returning to this, because now that flights are actually going after COVID, people can fly about. So this has like Flareon and Jolteon and Vaporeon on it, as well as Eevee at the front. This looks super, super cool, so keep an eye out for these. There is going to be a lot more information on this coming out at some point. But the big final news for kind of announcements, because I thought it was crazy interesting, is Pokemon shoes. That's right, Pokemon shoes. Now these are not shoes for your Pokemon. Pokemon don't exist, unfortunately. These are shoes for you that are on the design of Pokemon. There are 6 being released. Let me go through each of them one by one. So the first one is Sylveon shoes. So these Sylveon shoes, they're kind of flat, they're kind of lower. They look beautiful, and they are very, very cool. And of course, if they're Sylveon cards, there's probably going to be an Umbreon shoes. There's also going to be an Umbreon shoe too. So these are very, very nice as well. Nice kind of black color with the yellow stripes. There's also a Tyranitar kind of shoe, so this is also pretty cool. I'm not personally a big fan of these, but it's okay. There's also a Milotic or Milotic, however you want to say it, kind of set. These are nice with kind of like Milotic colors. There's also Lucario shoes. These are very, very cool as well. Finally, my favorite are the Dracopult shoes. These look so cool. I love the coloring. I love the design. They're very, very pretty. Now, the problem is the price. These are damn expensive. So they're ranging from about 27,000 to 30,000 yen. So you're looking about 200 bucks on average, depending on what the value of the yen is at the time. But the other problem is, the website clearly states that they do not ship outside of Japan. So basically, they only ship to people inside of Japan. So if you are looking to get hold of these, you probably have to be here, or you probably have to have an address here, because a lot of the Pokemon Center stuff is you have to be living in Japan and be here in Japan. But regardless, these shoes look damn cool. And they do have quite a few sizes. So they have size 22.5 up to 27.5 in centimeters. So that's what they are in Japan. I don't know what that equates to in the UK size, in the US size, in the EU size. But anyway, these shoes are awesome. I just kind of wanted to show you them. They're just so cool. Very cool. And I'm really tempted to get Dracopult shoes, but that's a lot of money to throw on a pair of shoes. And finally, we have my card of the week. So this week's card of the week is Caterpie. And it's not going to be just a base set Caterpie. This is the Caterpie from 151. I pulled this the other day with my wife. I haven't actually uploaded the video. That is going to be coming very, very soon. But the art on this card is fantastic. It's elegant, and it's a really interesting design, because typically a lot of these art rares are just kind of like straight on. This looks so atmospheric. And also, like, you've got part of a Caterpie in the background and a Caterpie looking at you. It's such a basic, simple card, but it is beautiful. It is such a cute card. So this is my card of the week. So that's everything for Pokemon News of the Week. And there's a lot of stuff that happened this week, but unfortunately, there wasn't so much that happened related to Pokemon cards specifically. So I'm considering of changing this segment just a little bit to be very specific to Pokemon Japan things that happened this week. That's why I'm calling it now, like, Pokemon News of the Week. So there's a lot of stuff. If you want to know more, or if you want me to do new things, if you have information, let me know in the comments below. I didn't check anything related to overseas cards this week because I want to keep it specifically to Japan. But there is a ton of stuff coming your way. I actually have a full box card opening with my wife coming later next week, so please stay tuned for that. We also got some fire pulls in a couple of revenge videos. Like, there is so much stuff coming, it's unreal. And please note that on July 7th, I am going to be doing 2 videos where I open up 4 packets or 4 of the decks from the new starter decks, as well as another 4 decks. So we're just going to do a couple videos actually looking at those cards. But I'm also considering to do a couple of live streams very soon. I'm thinking I might play a modded Pokemon game, or I might play the original Pokemon, say Red or Blue, or even like the remakes for the Game Boy Advance. So if you want me to do that, please also let me know. Basically, I just want to think of what content can I provide to you guys. Anyway, if you're still here, love you all, and I will see you in the next news of the week next time. Okay, thank you. Bye-bye. It is summertime, and it is really hot in this room. I don't have an air conditioner in here, and I am sweating like crazy. I even put on a tie today. It's just, whew, boy. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.